Good morning. This is Adrienne Wood reporting from spring break on the national news. Drinking water. So I just went in with my parents and I was like walking around looking for my coffee. I looked in the bathroom, I looked in the living room, I looked in the bedroom. It's like, Dad, have you seen my coffee? Now mind you, he's been watching me circle. Oh, it was in the sink. It was in the sink. What does that mean? Well, the cup was in the sink. So I poured it out and put the cup in the dishwasher. I mean, why do people take my coffee? I was afraid to make another one because then he'd be like, are you using those Nescafes? They're really expensive. So I'm on spring break this week, well, with my children. And so I had thought to myself, oh, this is going to be fun. We'll talk about, spring break versus like trip, vacation, relocation, all the things. Rain in Florida. And rain, like my parents have been warning me for a week, oh, it's going to rain. It's like, what do they mean? They mean it's going to be a monsoon in Florida, in a monsoon. And my daughter just said, what time are we going to the beach? I was like, I don't know if you've had a lobotomy, but it is 65 degrees and pouring. Well, what are we going to do? Well, you know what that means. That means this is going to be a very expensive week because we can't be outside, so we're going to have to do things like get pedicures, and she's in there right now picking out what kind of design I'm going to get on my fingernails. Do I look like the type of person that gets a manicure? No. But anyway, I thought, okay, we're not going to talk about spring break this morning. We're going to talk about news, national news, because I've kind of missed it, and I used to be better about this. So the Lori Vallow trial, we're going to hit three things. We're going to hit what happened in Louisville, Kentucky yesterday. We're going to hit Lori Vallow, and we're going to hit the Dalai Lama. I know, three very odd topics. Supposed to rain all week. Me know this. I know this. I know this. Yes, we made it. Yesterday we flew in at 2:30 and we arrived in Miami, which was 45 minutes later, 4 hours later, because we took multiple modes of transportation. Trains, planes, Ubers, metro buses, and zip lines. No, we didn't. I don't know what we took. Anyway. Okay, so Lori Vallow's trial happened yesterday. Does everybody know who Lori Vallow is? Because my dad didn't. He was like, what? I must have missed this. Lori Vallow is the woman whose two children went missing, and she ran off with her paramour and got married in Hawaii, and people kept saying, where are Kylie? Where's JJ? Where are your children? Oh, she doesn't know. They're with somebody. Well, their bodies were found, and no, I'm not running on any more public transportation. Their bodies were found, and her trial started yesterday. So Lori Vallow's ex-husband died. Her brother shot him in self-defense. Her new husband's ex-wife died, which they released yesterday, that the wife that they said died of natural causes in her sleep, and they didn't have they exhumed her body. She died of asphyxiation. And the day after she died, Lori Vallow, actually the night that she died, so this is Tamara Daybell. So Chad Daybell is married to Tamara Daybell. Now, meanwhile, they have already looked at rings and wedding dresses for Lori Vallow, but he's still married to this wife, and they have 5 or 6 children. Nice Mormon family. She makes a call the night that Tammy Daybell dies to someone and says of her brother, he can't do anything right. Now, she was already in Hawaii getting ready for the husband to come. Alex Cox, the brother, said, I hope I'm not their fall guy. So this is in October 19th is when Tamara Daybell dies. On December 12th, 2019, well, Alex Cox dies too. 17 days after Tammy Daybell died in October, Lori and Chad had a wedding in Hawaii, a full-on wedding. Now, meanwhile, Lori's children hadn't been seen from other family members since September 19th. They were reported missing in November 19th. So you've got to think, the children aren't seen in September, mid-September. Mid-October, Tammy Daybell dies. Mid-November, the family reports the kids missing. Beginning of November, Lori gets married. Middle of December, Alex Cox dies. We are suffering in Louisville. I'm so sorry. But yesterday, Lori Vallow's attorney said she was a kind and loving mother to her children. And then he went on to say, I'm married to a defense attorney. I understand this. But when people say stuff like this, it makes me highly annoyed. I love when defense attorneys remind jurors that the person is presumed innocent. That's the foundation of the jury system in our country. So if you're reminding us of that, that basically means we know you think she's guilty as all get out. And she probably is, but we're going to do everything we can to make it look out. Vallow is presumed innocent, Jim Archibald reminded jurors, and said the criminal charges, which accused Vallow of either directing, encouraging, assisting, or participating in the murders, showed the prosecutors don't really know what happened. Did she kill, or did she assist, or did she encourage, or did she direct? They aren't sure, said her wonderful, wonderful defense attorney. How old were her children? I think Tylee was maybe 17, and JJ was about 9. I think the age of my oldest and youngest. And she has one other son who was older that is still alive. Thank goodness. So anyway, the other thing that came out was that at where the bodies were found, at her new husband's land, there was also a pickaxe and a shovel found with Lori Vallow's DNA on them. I would just like to point out, ain't nobody ever going to find a pickaxe with my DNA on it. And do you know why? Because why would anybody use a pickaxe? Of course she killed them. And you know what I think about juries? I think juries are amazing because they are see through the BS. Probably not allowed to say that. YouTube said I couldn't be monetized because my content is harmful, and what that means is controversial. I mean, how are we not allowed to talk about anything that makes somebody feel uncomfortable? It's plain. So that's Lori Vallow. We also have the Dalai Lama, who, this is bizarre. The Dalai Lama, a child wanted to give him a hug, and he asked the child to give him a kiss, and then kissed the child on the lips, which, okay, I don't know the culture. Maybe that's normal. But then, I promise you I'm not making this up. It's recorded. He asked the child to suck his tongue. And people are like, well, maybe he has dementia. What? Don't give people a bad name with dementia. You don't ask people to suck your tongue. Oh, he's old. I don't care. No. That is petty, file. No. Negative. No. And he's apologized. You can't apologize. See, there are things that you're not allowed to apologize about. Like there was a congressman, maybe, was he in Tennessee? I don't know. Some African-American Democrat dude who, no, he wasn't a Democrat. That wouldn't make sense. He was a Republican. Was he black? Maybe I'm making this whole thing up. And he said people that are transgender are are demons. Well, then, I think this is in Tennessee. Then he apologizes. Now, see, you can't say somebody's a demon and then apologize. You're not allowed to apologize when you call somebody a demon, because an apology is what happens when you do something by accident. Like if you are throwing a basketball and it hits your brother in the head, this is worth an apology. Or maybe you get really mad in the moment and you yell at your children. Yes, you can apologize. You know, apologize for asking somebody to suck your tongue or by calling them a demon. So just wanted to get that straight. Hold on. I'm going to put my subscriber group up here. Oh my God. My parents are going to a doctor's appointment and I've offered to go with them. Is that even safe? And it's at 11 and they're like ready to leave in 10 minutes because, you know, we're in Miami. I was like, why don't we take the train? You can't. It's flooded downtown. So yesterday in Louisville, Kentucky, we had a shooting, and y'all are going to, you know, claim I'm woke or all sorts of things, but I'm going to tell you something. We had a shooting in a school a few weeks ago. A trans person killed 5 people, and all I heard was mental illness, right? Well, yesterday there was a shooter in Louisville, white dude, athlete, pretty regular family. I ain't heard one thing about mental illness. You know what I've heard? I've heard he had a lot of concussions. So when you get a white Democrat shooter, he has concussions. And when you have like a neo-Nazi Trumper, they have mental health issues. What? Do y'all find this odd? No one is talking about mental illness. You know why? Because we know that shootings don't happen because of mental illness. And it's only convenient when, or it's called, you know, the police chief, Jacqueline, said evil should not try to prevail. We can't let evil take over our city. Nobody called the transgender shooter evil. Oh, they were mentally ill. Well, what is it? It's kind of like when we know, I guess it's a little bit that we know when people take their own lives, we're like, oh, they had major problems. And I think generally they do. But then we also know these family annihilators take their own lives, not because they have mental illness, but because they are evil. So anyway, I think it's interesting. So this shooter in Louisville had left a voicemail for a friend saying he felt suicidal and had planned to kill everyone at the bank. He also left a note for his family, and his brother and his mother were down on the scene, but it was too late. Hi.
Are you still watching?
Are you still watching? Do you need me to help you?
Yeah.
All right. DB was collecting water. You have a leak. These are the faces they make while we're here. You leaving for your appointment?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll take you.
You can ride with me.
Oh, I'll drive you.
Oh, no, nobody driving me. I drive you.
Is Dad staying home, though, if I go?
Mike Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that'd be good. As long as Mary's good. Where's the remote?
It's Spider-Man there.
Oh, sorry. This is called real life. Hi. How are you?
No.
Did you sleep good? Hot in there. Well, you can turn on your air conditioner or open your door. Let me finish my video.
In an hour.
In an hour. We're going to leave at 9:15. The appointment's at 11. Is it in North Carolina?
It's over at Miami Beach.
Oh. We could check the Uber time and see how long it's going to take to get there. No, we could drive, but that would tell us what the traffic was. appointments 9 hours in advance. Okay, sorry. That's what you get with the subscriber group. You get behind the scenes video with people in their 70s and their thoughts on life, which are very interesting, I would just like to say. So we have, yes, he was getting ready to be fired from the bank. He had learned that. He left a note for his parents. He had left his voicemail for friends. Concussions can cause mental issues. You have to be mentally ill to shoot somebody with ill intent. You do not have to be mentally ill to shoot somebody. What? What are you talking about? No, you don't. Where do y'all make this? That's the biggest bunch of baloney. Oh, these are pajamas. But, interestingly enough, the shooter had written an essay in high school, and it said, "My self-esteem has long been a problem for me. As a late bloomer in middle and high school, I struggled to a certain extent to fit in, and this has given me a somewhat negative self-image that persists today. Making friends has never been especially easy, so I have more experience than most in operating alone." But when he was in college, he said he had begun to mature socially and beginning to see improvement in this area. He hoped to become more self-aware and start becoming a better person. His father was like a major, I think, University of Indiana basketball coach. He had stepped down. His boys were 9 and 6. He was going to, help them. But I think stop categorizing shooters and get stricter gun laws. I think we could do both, Helen, personally. I think we have to categorize them to some degree, or we have to recognize how we're categorizing them. So I have not heard one person say he was mentally ill. I've only heard that he was evil and he had concussions. Right? So I find that unusual. But 94% of shooters tell someone else they're going to do it to begin with. And I think this is a huge stat that we really need to pay attention to. He had put up 3 different Instagram posts. One said, "I know what I have to do, but don't know if I have the strength to do it. Monday vibes, I could burn this whole place down. They won't listen to words or protest. Let's see if they hear this." He had friends on Instagram. He had hundreds of followers. Hundreds of people saw that and had to think to themselves, boy, this is a problem. Yeah. The data says that a very, very small number of shooters have diagnosed mental illness. I think it's easy for us to explain away things. I think we can say, oh, they're a Trumper, or they're this, or they're that, or they're, had concussions. But at some point, did the person in Nashville tell someone before he did it? Yes, the person in Nashville had sent an Instagram message to a friend in middle school and identified himself, and also identified himself by his name, previous name, which was female. And the person responded back and said, called him by his female name and said, don't do this. Things are going to be good. But then that friend did call the police at the exact time the shooting was happening, which was within a few minutes. When is this going to stop in the U.S.? I think it's really interesting, Julie, because I have access to so many followers in other countries, and they're like, y'all, this is insane. This does not happen where we live. Over and over. It used to happen where we live, and then we changed the laws. We said, no, may. We're not doing that anymore. But are we going to be willing to do that? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Helen, that's important to bring up. So yesterday, a mother of a 6-year-old who shot his teacher in Virginia, about an hour from where I live. The mother was charged with child neglect and endangerment for keeping a loaded weapon where their 6-year-old had access to it. And the teacher that day had said, I'm concerned this child has a weapon at school. And the school was like, we're getting out early. We're not going to worry about it. You know, I don't know, Nicole, because Reagan was for gun law. And Reagan was like, you know, a Republican. I guess he had been a Democrat. But, I mean, and at one point, Veronica, the NRA supported restrictions on assault-style weapons. And you know why? This is like the best thing on the planet. I'm sure this is considered controversial. Because the Black Panthers all had weapons, and the NRA was like, these black dudes have guns, and I'm scared. We've got to limit them. They're walking around the streets with their assault weapons, and the NRA thought they were going to be dead ducks. That's why the NRA doesn't allow people to carry weapons into the NRA gun show. They want you to be able to carry a weapon with no license in North Carolina into a school, but the NRA doesn't want to allow you to come in with a license and a gun into a gun show. Hello? Hello? Are you crazy? You crazy? Yes, you crazy. It's official. You are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I will be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs by the time I go home. Retract neo-Nazi Trumper. Also, you spent a lot of time lamenting the person who was misunderstood and murdered children in a school. Retract neo-Nazi Trumper. No, I'm not going to retract it, Kimberly, because I think that is something that we hear. I mean, that's what we heard at the insurrection. Oh, it's only them that do it. Well, now we've got a white Democrat that's done it. I think you should, I know you love Trump, but I think you have to see maybe that I'm helping you here. It's not just the neo-Nazi Trumpers. It's also the white Democrats that are the anti-Trumpers. But then instead of calling them evil, we call them, oh, they had a concussion. You know? So, and honest to goodness, this dude just, streamed it live on Instagram. Streamed the shooting live on Instagram. That is not someone with mental illness. That is someone who needs attention. No, it's not. My God, are y'all on drugs? It is not Trumpers committing these mass killings. I know that. I am referring to the rhetoric of what people would say. Do you all understand this? This is called an analogy. This is what people may say, right? Because this has happened in the past, like the Parkland shooter. I feel like I'm Gilligan in the rain, like Laura Ingalls in the long winter with the rainy Florida. I know it's all Americans, fool. I know this. You all struggle. You all have got to do some reading this morning. I would like to assign reading. And don't send me a message and say, I don't like how you talk. Don't send me a message. I do not want your message. No message. People's horns come out. I know. Now, if you talk about Biden, people are thrilled. But the minute you say something naughty about Trump, you're crazy. I love him. My husband, who I will say is a Trump fan, I said yesterday, I've been scared to ask him, what do you think about this Trump indictment? Because I thought he was going to be like, it's bull. They're doing this, they're doing that. He goes, I think they're doing us a favor. Because now, this is why he's not going to be able to run. Hi. Which is great. He's had his chance, and he's gone. You want to watch Bubble Guppies? Okay. You act like this doesn't happen in other countries. Bubble Guppies.
No.
I'll help him. But thank you for... No, thank you.
No, thank you, baby.
acts like this doesn't happen in other countries. Oh, so Angie, you think there are all these shootings in other countries, but they're being kept quiet. It's so sneaky. So interesting. I didn't know this. Okay, what am I doing?
Bubble guppies.
Bubble guppies. Okay. I mean, maybe because I live with someone who requires me to think extra hard. But
Bubble guppies.
I worship no one. Well, except God. I do worship God. Okay, okay, bubble guppies. Okay. There we go. I would just like to say Prime Video is my friend because I can sign into it from wherever I am and voila. Oh no. Paramount restricts its content through Prime Video channel.
Down there.
All right. Which one?
It's maybe on 5.
Season 5? Okay, you're in my way, remember? Okay, season 5. Rosie O'Donnell is looking for parents of autistic children to do a podcast on the joys of autism. Why is Rosie O'Donnell in the middle of autism? Does she have somebody that's autistic?
The emojis.
The what?
Emojis.
Oh, the emojis. Okay.
The emojis.
Yes. People need to turn off.
Welcome to Grumpy Old West.
Grumpy Old West. I'm trying to get the thing to move. Okay. Up. Okay. 4, 5. That one? Ocean Patrol?
Right this way.
Hold on. This
The
is...
good, the sad, and the grumpy.
Okay.
Stop. Watch that.
Okay, I just did. Oh, her youngest daughter has
Help
autism.
me.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's see.
By episode 4.
Okay. This is what happens.
By episode 4.
I'm at my parents' house. I just bought episode 4. It's great.
Start playing.
Other people spend money on shopping. Our family spends thousands of dollars on television shows. Yes, we do. Are you silly goosey?
Yes.
What did you do yesterday? Did you have fun?
Rah.
Okay, I've got to get ready to go on a trip. Subscribers, come over. We're going to do a video with my mother. We're going to talk about why we're leaving for a doctor's appointment 2 hours early. If you need some commiserating and what we're going to do in this
Happy
monsoon for the
Duffy.
next 6 days. It doesn't involve a tremendous amount of alcohol. Carry on.